Hi guys, Mark Alessi here. So I know people are probably asking, what is my intentions? So my intentions is just basically help you guys wake up to share the knowledge I found. So basically on my journey, I was Catholic. I was just doing some search. I've always had a pull towards spiritual information. And then I was able to research some information and I was able to get access to some information. And eventually I was able, there's a lot of stuff that happened. Believe me, when I've been doing spiritual stuff now for maybe, I don't know, it's been such a long time. It's before 2012, like in the 90s. I started when I was like maybe in 23. So I'm in like my 40s. It's been like over 40, like over 20 years since I've been doing spiritual stuff. And I'm at the point where I can tap into, I think what they call the Akashic records, or sometimes people call it gnosis. In Gnosticism, where you could get, it's called direct knowing. I think sometimes people call it channeling. I like to call it the flow. So just basically, you just flow with the information. And how I describe this happening, I think this is going to be the path for everyone. So I kind of want to be able just to guide you guys through like my awakening, because I feel like maybe my path is the path that you guys are supposed to be able to do. And I realized it's just like, I was Catholic and then I went into other spiritualities. Really, I'm going to be honest, because a lot of the stuff the Catholic Church did really turned me off. So I was actually trying to get away from Catholics. So it made me search around for everything. But ironically, I came full circle back to Christianity. I went to Kabbalah. I learned Hebrew. I learned so much stuff, and came back to that and just realize that they're all basically trying to tell us something. And now I'm at the point where I can basically flow with the energy. I'm able to tap into it. I think what happened with me is by studying esoteric information, I was able to tap into my subconscious mind. And by tapping into my subconscious mind, I was able to tap into higher wisdom by looking at this esoteric knowledge. And, if we live in a holographic universe, realize the dynamics of it. If you live in a holographic universe, whatever you focus on, you'll manifest. But because I spent 20 years just focusing on esoteric knowledge and understanding it and learning it and focusing on it and dedicating it, my consciousness was focusing on esoteric knowledge. So in essence, me focusing and using my holographic universe, concentration on wisdom and knowledge and awakening and enlightenment, I actually manifested that within myself. So that's why I realized that when you're tapping into gnosis or the flow, you can only channel what's in your consciousness. So if you don't have, if you haven't learned Chinese, you're not going to be able to flow in Chinese. If you don't have like these concepts in your head, it seems like there's like a higher force that goes into the mind of your database, and it just kind of picks everything in your database and then just channels it. So you can only channel that stuff that's in your consciousness. And so because I spent 20 years of analyzing and looking at so many esoteric knowledge and information, I'm able to just pull up a lot of this information. I studied science, esoteric information, quantum physics, things of that nature. So when you start to flow, it's kind of like an inner knowing, which is more like synchronicity, and it just like everything just aligns, and it's like a resonance that you're tapping into. And that's how more of how my information was able to be developed over time.